Maritimes. I'm Fidel,
I'm Hillary.
I'm Clinton.
and we have a special guest today. This was a long time coming because we've been talking to him for a few, 1 or 2 years already. We definitely enjoy our work, and he has notably said that he enjoys our work. So we definitely have a mutual respect for each other. We have Sa Andrew Bongor. He is the director of Battle of the Arts New Brunswick, and he was also the former president of the New Brunswick African Association. Glad to have you, brother.
Blessed man. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be on your platform.
Yeah, I definitely. We're very happy to have you. So, let's go back. Tell us a little bit about you. Where did you grow up? Where what was your childhood like?
I'm a born Sierra Leonean, West Africa. I'm the only Sierra Leonean in Fredericton, by the way. And I start my life in Sierra Leone. And when the war broke out in my country, I moved to the Gambia, which is neighboring to Sierra Leone. It's neighboring Sierra Leone and Senegal. So I spent some time there. From there, then I had to migrate and find myself in Fredericton. But my life started in Sierra Leone, and I'm a Sierra Leonean. I'm still a Sierra Leonean, and there's no place like home. It doesn't matter where you go, and but I lived in other places, and Gambia is where I actually grew up and get matured because I spent a long time there when I moved from Sierra Leone as a refugee. And and I find myself in Canada, New Brunswick. I'm here today.
Now, for those who don't know, Sierra Leone, he said as well, West Africa, they went to a few civil wars,
Mhm.
uh, mainly between tribes and government and things
That's
like
right.
that. So for those of you who don't know, and this has happened in neighboring African countries. In Sierra Leone, the war lasted a few years. I'm not 100% sure how many
10
years.
years.
10 years.
Yeah.
So it lasted a lot of years. So when you did you see the war yourself, or
Yep. I see the war. I live in the war. I see people killed in front of me. I see people's hands being chopped in front of me. And I see terrible things that I don't even want to bring back. I don't want to bring back again. But, life goes on. I live there in the war and find my way. I work on food from Sierra Leone to Guinea, which is a neighboring country to Sierra Leone. And so it's been terrible. So I lived the war. I know what it takes to be a refugee. And yeah.
and for those, I mean, and again, I am quite I there's a lot of documentaries about refugees of different places from Africa, and when people think of Africa, they think West or North, but they don't think places like Algeria or Egypt or Middle Eastern countries that kind of suffer the same thing. You were a kid when this happened. You were a
Yep.
child.
Yep.
So did your parents explain you what's going on, or did you have to figure it out by yourself?
Oh my God. The war started in my country. I was well dressed in my primary school uniform. My dad was a teacher in a secondary school. My dad just left me and said, I'll see you later. He gone, and I'm going to school. All I start to hear is bombshell. And I was still going because I don't even know. I thought maybe there's a big occasion somewhere. I'm hearing boom, 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 and I'm still going to school until I saw people with loads on their head. They're running. Then I said, wait, I think this is not party. I run, come back home, but my dad was not home anymore. My dad was not in school. And I came home and everybody at the house, they said, let's go, just follow us, just follow us. And that is it. So I ran away in my school uniform, to the extreme village where my grandfather was. That's how it started. So right? When I think about it back again, how it started and where I am now, and it's like it's still fresh in my head.
I bet. I mean that's quite again that is quite a journey, man. That is quite an experience. No child should be able to experience that because, like you said, you were a kid. You didn't know what was going on. You were just going to school. You were just
Yeah.
trying. You was going to school, think a normal day, and this happened. So you go to your grandfather's house and you experience this, and then you get to Gambia. Uh, how is the life of a refugee? Like if you can do it in like in a complex, like how what would you say a life of a refugee is?
It's terrible. It's really terrible. There is no place like home. Even when we go, when we went to the Gambia. Gambia is a place. It's a beautiful place that does not grow much agriculture. They believe in tourism, and that's how they make money. That's how they make resources. And so when there's more refugee coming, they hope that the United Nations is gonna give them more money. That is how. So we Sierra Leoneans, it's like we're business for the Gambia, But Gambia is a beautiful place, and but they have less rainfall. So wherever there's less rainfall, there's less agriculture, right? So which means they have to find other ways on how to get more money to sustain the country. So
Oh
yeah.
wow. So
Mhm.
how long did you lasted in Gambia? How many years?
Maybe like 7 years. Yeah, around that. Just it's when you stay there too long, then you speak their languages. So now I can speak Wolof.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, so which is beautiful.
So
Um,
you said this 6 year, and you were a kid. Like you were how old were
I
you?
came, I left. The war started. I was just 12. And so the war started. I ran from my city, which is the bigger city, to the village where my grandfather was. And that is still Sierra Leone. And while with my grandfather, I do farming, do a lot of planting and bananas and stuff like that, for living. And then from there, then the rebels come and take over that same city. So which means you can go away out of that city because the rebels are well protected when they are in control of civilians. So the soldiers or the ECOMOG is just like the UN, but ECOMOG was for West Africa. West Africa, East Africa, North Africa, they have their own group of military force that goes to these to any region, any countries in that region that have war or something or civil unrest to go and help. So they come and they destabilize and create chaos that allow us to leave the place. And from there now walk on foot to come to Guinea. Guinea is a neighboring country to Sierra Leone.
So you went to another
So
country on foot.
on foot, on foot. Yeah, me and my cousins. Yeah, so I love my journey, by the way. I love my journey, and it's something that is never gonna wipe away from my memory. And I can write a whole book about it. You know,
Definitely should. You
yeah.
definitely should. I mean, it's so you spent it 6 years in Gambia. So you were like 17 or 18 or at this point when you leave,
Yes, yes.
and you arrived to Canada. How did that come about?
So, well, in the Gambia, first of all, they don't tell you where you're going. I never say I'm coming to New Brunswick. I never say that. And they told me that when this program come through the refugee camps, and they say your family will be moving to Canada. And from Toronto, then I know that they're gonna be sending us to New Brunswick. And so here I am. So my dad is a teacher. My dad is a professor, and here he teaches in New Brunswick and Ontario. And my two brothers are also big boys now, and one of them is in Moncton, and the other one is in St. John. And my sister live with my my stepmom in Campbellton. So we are all good. Everybody grew up here. Everybody adapting and getting through the challenges, making our way day by day.
Oh wow! So you were lucky enough that it ended like that was one of the things that you said that your dad never came. So there is a happy ending when you said your dad left. He came back and you guys were able to
Yes,
stay together.
my mom never came. My mom is still there. My stepmom is here. My stepmom, who my dad met in the Gambia.
Wow.
That's right. My mom is still back home. So when the war started, it's almost close to 20 years I haven't seen my mom. It's last March before the COVID started. I went to Sierra Leone for that long time.
Oh
Went
my
to see my
God.
mom. Yeah, yeah. Went to see my mom. It was like I was like in heaven. You know, all the place is all different to me. The streets I used to know, I can only remember some of the name. I can't even tell what are the street, but I just want to just walk and walk and walk and walk and non-stop walking because I just want to bring back memories, you know. And yeah, I was in Sierra Leone when the COVID started. I was in Sierra Leone.
Now,
Yeah.
Sierra Leone is not like there's not a conflict. There's still a again, it's still a poor country, but there's no war conflict. There's still political conflict in certain places, but not like it used to.
Yeah.
So your mom's doing okay, I'm assuming. I hope.
My mom is doing okay. You know, I'm a mommy's boy, fighting hard for my mom, you know, to make sure she stays strong. And Sierra Leone is okay. Politically, things are getting better, but Sierra Leone is not a poor country. Sierra Leone is rich. It's poor because of mismanagement, because of political thing. Sierra Leone has diamonds. Sierra Leone has so many minerals. We produce some of the most greatest agricultural plantation, you know, in West Africa. People get from us, take it to all around, you know, but guess what? We still are below this poverty level, you know, so yeah, we still got a lot of work to do.
And that's a sad thing about a lot of African countries, that's people don't understand the damage from colonization. If you go to places like Sierra Leone, like Ethiopia, South Africa, Nigeria, you can still feel the the damage from colonization by all the mismanagement and all the poverty that they left, and what these colonies, these countries took but never gave back, or
Hmm.
didn't educate people on how to. In fact, they made it so they could have more conflict with each other than.
Hmm. But that's the only way they can profit, right? Create chaos among us.
Yeah,
Then they come back again as a peacekeepers,
yeah.
right? So,
That is definitely that's definitely part of things, and I definitely suggest people to. There's a lot of documentaries on YouTube that definitely takes, but there's a beautiful part of Africa, of
mm,
places, and we're gonna talk about a little bit about that as well, which is the arts, which is something that you do. Now, when you land in Canada, you come from a place that everybody's black and everybody's normal. Being black is like a normal thing. Nobody even notices. I just like, and then you come to a place that you're like, wait, there's I'm maybe the only black guy at the place. So how
mhm.
was that? How was the adapting to it?
Well, it's not even maybe. In when I came here, and there was not too many black people here in Fredericton. And not saying now my class, because when I came, I went to St. Thomas. I had to take a test. If I pass the test, then I can attend school. And I was the only black person in my class, and at school, and in the whole campus, about not more than 3 or 4 black people at that time in the whole St. Thomas University. I said, "What? This was different. That alone was challenging. When I'm in classroom, professor is teaching, and they talk a little bit about Sierra Leone. Da, da, da. I said, what? So you know my country, you know? You know, so when they talk about Sierra Leone, everybody would turn aside and just look at me. You know what I mean? I said, oh my God, I become a TV show. It's crazy, you know. But I was one of the 3 or 4 black people on campus. That was challenging. Just that by itself was challenging.
And when you see that it's like you're the three black people in the campus, when you're used to seeing black people all over the place doing different things and just acting like normal, but they seem like you are like a, and it has happened to most of us, it's like you're like a designer car or a truck. It's like you're an alien that nobody has seen
Mm-hmm.
before. It's like your
Mm-hmm.
hair, your color, it is
Mm-hmm.
so different, and they start asking the same questions that you like. How do you comb your hair? Where are you from? Like we all got that
Mm-hmm.
eventually. Now there comes a point that we all get to it, and that is racism. We all have experienced in some type of way,
Mm-hmm.
uh not necessarily directly, but maybe indirectly. Did you remember when that happened to you here?
Yeah, racism happen, you know, on an everyday basis. I can remember everything, you know. But one thing about me, I'm not afraid. I'm not shy. Even since day one, I come from Sierra Leone. It doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm the only black person here. I don't care. One thing I care about, as long as you don't hurt me, you know, life goes on, you know, and Racism happened to me here. The first time was I put on my show with a colleagues of mine who helped me. All of them were white. They all took my posters, went around the city, put my posters up, and my show was supposed to be held in one of the francophone schools here, and the poster was on the post on the pole on the street downtown. Somebody went and write on the poster, "White Power, Black Fail." That was the first time I experienced that. In fact, my colleague took the poster out and they put a fresh one. They put a fresh one and they took the poster up to campus and they called me and they thought maybe I'm going to be annoyed. And when they tell me, I say, I'm not annoyed. I'm not annoyed. This person is not going to stop my show, right? And they said, nope. I said, well, let's go on. But however, because I was doing I'm in the human rights law class, and my colleagues, they say no, we have to start to practice what we say. So they take this poster to the campus police, and they went downtown and they removed the camera and they try to trace who actually wrote this stuff on this poster until they find the person. And they asked me what to do. This person, I said, let this person be alone. That's all. My show is gonna go on, right? That's all I focus on. If the person want come to my show, come learn about how you can make things better. So anyways, racism have happened. That's just one. That one will never go off my mind because it was the first thing that ever happened when I stepped in New Brunswick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, go ahead, Clinton.
How did that first show go in the end?
Oh my
Tell us
God. People were standing even at the door. They were standing at the door. The place was packed. The place was packed.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was packed. And I told, when they come to interview me, oh, we find the person who did this to you. What should we do? I said, let that man alone. Let that man alone.
Give him
my
a front
show
row
is
seat.
gonna go on.
Give
Yeah,
him a
my
front row
show.
seat to see what he tried to stop but couldn't. Yeah.
That is it. I said, nope, my show will go on and it's gonna be successful. And indeed it was.
And I mean, that's the beauty about sometimes overcoming adversity. I mean, when you overcome adversity all the time, whether it's a war, mental illness, things, death, anything, that once you become adversity, other things seem like you have to move forward, because you realize that there's a whole other things that you say you could have taken for granted, but now you're like, wait a minute, I'm still here, I'm still standing, I can move forward. Like, this is nothing compared to what
That
could
is
have
it.
happened.
That is it. Because the first question I asked them, is my show gonna go on? They say yes. I said, okay, let's go on. That is it. And I'm not here to hurt no man. No man can hurt me. I'm here to do what I think I need to do. And this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it without hurting nobody. So if you can go do your own thing and make you, let me be my own person. Let me make me.
That's
It's
that's
simple.
that's pretty good. So we're gonna turn a little bit of page today to know more about something that you are passionate in, that's arts. How did you become passionate in art? When did that spark came to you?
Well, that came to me when I was in the Gambia, and Gambia is where actually I started every creativity of mine. And so I was living in Gambia. There's a lot of reggae music in the Gambia, and so I hang out around people who sing and write. And I was in the Gambia. They brought Buju Banton. I was in the Gambia. They brought some other big names from Jamaica and all of that. I'm always there, and I started by making a jingle. I made a jingle for a restaurant, and that jingle reached to the Sierra Leone National Airline managing director, and who later on said, "I want to meet this guy." And this guy said, "I think I like what you're doing, and I want you to do something for the airline." And I make a jingle for the airline. That is for the Sierra Leone National Airline, which was based in the Gambia. And this is how my name started. So every day, I didn't make a song yet. Every day I'm hearing my voice on the radio. I'm hearing my voice on the radio. And this same manager said, "I think you can do something better than this." And they pay a studio fee for me, and I produced an album. So my first album was produced in the Gambia. And as I produced my CD, I didn't have much time to promote it. And they say, "You'll be leaving for Canada." So that's how my journey started.
Oh wow! And
Yeah.
what year was this?
2004.
So 2004 Afrobeats, 5 years later, just started.
That's right.
Like with Akon, Davido, and
That's
those guys
right.
just started.
That's
They
right.
started going. The twin brothers. I don't remember what the twin brothers
Akim
name
and
was.
Bilal.
Okay, yeah, like they
I
were.
was I was there. They DJ for me in one of the shows we play in the Gambia, and they produced one of two of Akon song, and we met only once or twice, and then I left. So I wanted to be there and do a lot more good stuff, and but I had this chance to come and just see what life is gonna bring back, and yeah, so I gotta move. I had to move. And when I come to Canada, and while I was in school, 2009, and when I was about to graduate, I released my second CD in Canada here, titled On the Radio. And I'm so much. The art has played a great role in my life to make me who I am, to make me more out vocal, to make me more to stand up for what I believe, and I always look for the right thing to do at the right time, and I look at the right change to make when it is necessary. And what channel do I use? I use the art. And I'm not afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to speak. I'm not afraid to tell you what is it. I'm telling you exactly the way it is to find solution to it.
Oh well, that's pretty powerful there. So I will say that because I remember there was an interview of Supercat, which is another reggae artist, and he said that when like he says like what's the most memorable moment that you have in your career? He's like my tour of Africa, and he's like and they're like why is that? Well, because I didn't know like when you get out of Jamaica, you see that there's people that like you and things like that, but when you go to Africa and you feel like you're a superstar like Michael
Yes,
Jackson, but
that's
it's all
right.
black people,
That's
it is
right.
amazing. He said,
Yeah,
it was amazing that he didn't know.
yeah.
So there is a lot of reggae culture, and there's a lot of different. There's tons of rhythms in Africa.
But that is a Africa is a bath of freedom. You know, Africa. Like, trust me, man. Like, Africa is a whole new resource that is untapped for the whole world. That is just there. The only thing that is mixing us up is straight up is the West. You know, it's the West. That is all. And but we are well sufficient to produce and make anything we want to do. And so I'm proud to be an African for real.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. So you are in New Brunswick and you start making music here. That's like you start making music. And what was the most challenging thing here as a musician when you started doing it?
Well, people here and people find it difficult to accept Afrobeats. That was one, and but I never stopped. I insist, right, that I'm not going to change my style. I'm going to do what I know until you start to say, okay, let me listen to this guy. So I do free shows, I volunteered, and I do fresh weeks and shows on campus. I perform in St. John. I do stuff from Welcome Week in UDM, and you name them, all around. I just volunteer until people start to say, okay, we got to start giving this guy money, because when I go there, I make crowd move. That is what I do, and you gotta appreciate good thing, And so I never stopped. And luckily, I had friends, I have colleagues, white guys. I have white people who were like so down in helping. So there was racism, but trust me, as I said, I'm not afraid of racism. I'm not afraid. I know it's there, and I work with people. Even when I go to do shows, um, people who come to my show, they see everybody behind me is white, so they tend to say, "Who is this?" And it's not because they love me; it's because I'm not afraid to do what I want to do. I'm not afraid. I just do it as long as I'm doing it for the right thing. And anyways, that is it. That is it. That is it. That's how I do it. I wasn't afraid, and I'm not afraid. And I think when you want to be whoever you want to be, go for it. You see what you want, go for it. Don't hold back.
That's good. Clinton, go ahead.
I don't want to put you on the spot here, but are you willing to drop a little one verse for us here on the
Oh,
show, or
my
you do
bars
good
are
with
not
music?
free. My bars are not free.
All right, all right. We'll have to post the link afterwards so everyone can check it
That's
out.
right. That's right. That's right.
Good
So
answer. Good answer.
as we come, like as you come with the music, how did the New Brunswick African Association came by? How did that go from music to like an association of people to kind of do activities and kind of be involved more in the community?
Well, when we arrived there, when my family arrived there, and the association was already in existence, but it was just in Fredericton, and I was still a little boy too, and so I was the youth coordinator, and it was all voluntary, right? And up to now, it's still voluntary. So it's basically the few Africans who were here in Fredericton, because I was saying, if you can think of just 4 or 5 black people in St. Thomas campus, think of how many people will be in Fredericton in general. So those are the folks who were gathering, start New Brunswick African Association, but it was basically in Fredericton for a year or so until they start to do things. This is how it's like, basically black people coming together to socialize, to talk about what are available in the city, or welcoming some other person, some other Africans coming from another country at the airport, and so and so. This is how it started. So when the president was going out, and he's from Tanzania, and so they say, well, this guy's been volunteering a lot here. Let's give him the leadership. So let's see what he can do. And so when I come as a leader, as a president, and so I take it beyond Fredericton. At the same time, I was just graduating from St. Thomas University. And so I take the whole organization beyond Fredericton, that we don't have Africans just in Fredericton. We have Africans all over the province and beyond. And the goal now is to connect, to reach out, to talk, to meet other people, hear from other people, where they come from, when did you come here, or are you from here? How can I know you more? You want to invite me at your home? I want to see what you do, and so this is what I've been doing, and it's all volunteering. I'm going, visiting, and do soccer programs and basketball programs, and you name them. The list goes on and on. And I started a group called MAP, Making Africa Proud. It's a dance group, dance and drama group. And that one has been kicking around for a long time. Basically, it's to fight against racism, using the arts to fight against racism. All of this is under the New Brunswick African Association. And the goal is to connect, to empower, to make sure Africans start coming together, starting to say, oh, okay, I met other 2 people in St. John. Oh, I met other 3 people in this city. So the goal was to able to gather all of us, to start to know one another, to start to talk and share, and opportunities, challenges, help, and you name them. So this is how we started. Now the New Brunswick African Association is all over the province, and in Canada. It's visible everywhere.
Now that's something that is quite nice that I didn't know. I had to kind of find out, and I think that's how I found out through you that there was a New Brunswick African Association. And when people think of, especially in Moncton, when people think of African people, they think French. Uh,
Mhm.
People that speak French, but that's not really the fact. Like people speak English, and in some African countries, even Spanish or
Mhm.
Portuguese. Now, when when you arrived, you said that there was not a lot of black people. Was there enough support from African people once your family came? Like, did you guys have find that community, or was it hard to find a community?
Um, it wasn't too hard. The small amount of Africans who were here. They were very kind. They were very kind, and mostly we're all educated people. Like, there's so much, like all the Africans I met. Anybody you ask, I'm an engineer. Oh, I'm a teacher. That was so cool. Nobody was like, I don't know what's up. People know what they're doing. So that community itself makes you want to triumph, and so I was surrounded by people. Everybody was busy, but the people that came, the few that were here, most of those people are not even no more in New Brunswick. They left, right? They go to other bigger cities. But it was very welcoming. People actually cooked food. Visitors, like, they joined they went to the airport to pick us and take us to our place and bring African food. And there was one Sierra Leonean family here too. They didn't spend a long time here. They left. They went to Winnipeg, and so right now we're the only Sierra Leonean. Well, my dad does not even live here. I'm the only Sierra Leonean living in this big city.
Oh wow. So and that's something that, as it you've seen the growth of New Brunswick, you are part of the community and you see there's more immigrants, more black people. Even well, the good thing about Kirkland, there's even black people that grew up in and have generations in New Brunswick. We had a guest, Samantha Tandy Wade as well,
Mhm,
Savannah as well. That these people are born and raised in New Brunswick and they're black.
mhm,
Now, as it grows, now you are part of that kind of evolution of
mhm.
that, right? Because
Yep.
you have organizations that kind of mentor kids of color. And
Mhm.
when you see that, what do you think the future holds for New Brunswick, or what do you expect of the future of New Brunswick when it comes to like other black kids and people of color, a younger generation that no don't necessarily relate as or Africans of or Jamaicans or in it just as plain Canadians?
I think um, it doesn't matter where you come from, whether you are black from here or black from there or black from, it doesn't matter. When the lane white man see you, they're gonna say it's a black man or black woman. Straight away they think you're from Africa, right? But let's say the fact, me, I don't care where you come from. We're all black people. They're white people, they're black people. That is it, straight up. And we have light skin black people. We have light skin. Like when you talk about black people, not everybody's black because we say black, you're black. You know what I mean? And I see that itself as a challenge because this is something. Okay, I'm the host of Afrofest. I brought Afrofest, organized Afrofest in the past 3-4 years. I brought it to Dieppe and all of that. So our last time, the last time theme for the last Afrofest was being black in Indy. We had workshops before the festival itself to have discussions because most of our brothers and sisters are now here, including me myself. We have a mixed race children and now how this like I want my kid to able to go somewhere. He said I'm black, don't be afraid because you're light skinned, so and I want able to make sure everybody who is here as an African or as a somebody from that is in the black community to know that the next black person you see is your brother or is your sister. There's nothing that differentiates between us. If we keep fighting and making sure we maintain that, we wipe away that stigma of saying, oh, you're not black like me, so you're not a black person. If this come in different form, just so you know, does not come. People don't tell you in your face that you're light, you're not black, but you can see from, and I think it's part of the education process that which is our own duty. It's nobody else. It's nobody gonna come and help you and I to know that you and I were brothers or sister. It's our job to keep doing it daily basis, to go around, to make friends, to meet another black person you haven't seen before, talk to that black person, introduce yourself to them if you can, and say, hey, where you from? Or are you from here? Okay, cool. What's your name? This is me. This is you. I want to be your buddy. Or let's meet. Let's connect. The more we keep doing that, the province is gonna be the black community in the province is gonna be more united. It's gonna be more stronger. It's gonna be more how do I say this? Because the end goal is for us to able to unite, for us to able to say yes. We're New Brunswickers. We're here and we are Africans. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're from here or from there. You're still an African. That's how I think.
I
But we
mean,
have a lot of work to do in order for all of us to. It's not a one-person job. It's all of us.
I would corroborate on that because one thing that I think that's one of my pet peeves, and that's one of the things I am a very calm guy and I barely don't get upset. I try not to get upset. But nothing upsets me more than arguing with another black person here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not because it's arguing, but it's because we're not that many. We're
Yeah.
not a whole lot. And the fact that we are discussing and arguing and bickering with each other when we're not really that many of us, and instead of us helping each other in certain ways and forms, it's just, for me, it's upsetting for the fact that it is something that it it doesn't feel right, because if it was like, let's say, where I'm from, or where you're from, that we're all there is the same. I mean, yeah, we all have different strengths and characters, and that's cool. But here, there is some type of oppression and some type of privilege along the other spectrum, right?
Mhm.
And we have to fight against that, and it happens to all of us, even if we don't get along.
Mhm.
Even if we don't speak the same language, even if we don't speak that, even if we don't know each other, we're not even from the same country, we have nothing in common. We're still gonna get judged because of that.
That's right.
and,
Straight
and
up.
and it's
Straight up, you're gonna get judged.
like, whoa, for instance, like, whoa. And it's something like, look, we need to make sure that as a community, we make sure that we have to let people know that we're different.
Mhm.
We're not all the same. We're
Mhm.
not all the same. We're not alike. But you judge us for that,
Yes.
and we're trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. So we have to stand together to tell you, hey, look, just because X does this, that doesn't mean that's like, don't judge me for the color of
Mhm.
my skin. And that's something that I don't understand. I definitely agree with you that, we definitely should uh have more, have more of that within
Mhm.
us, especially in a small province in Atlantic
Mhm.
Canada, because we're not that many. I mean, if it's Toronto, or I don't know, someplace like that that is bigger, maybe the spectrum would be way different, because
Mhm.
it's a way bigger place. But this place is not that big.
No. Now, in
but
some cities, there's only two sides, the north side and the south side. There's
yeah,
nowhere to run, like the movie.
yeah, that is exactly right. So I want to ask you something, which is
Mhm.
interesting. You have done so much with the, you just said Afrofest in Brunswick, and there's a lot of black art going on here.
Mhm.
And we can see it through your portals, to your
Mhm.
newsletters that you said you're in advertise. Why do you think it doesn't get as recognized, or as has as much notoriety in different places? Because even for me, I kind of had, like, you find us, we found you, like, we had to kind of go and look.
That's right.
It wasn't like there, like
Mhm.
most of the things are. But why do you think that happens?
I think basically, with the long time build up experience I've seen here is the lack of support to black arts. Straight up, lack of support. Um, or this, let's put it this way: the capacity building, give our community what our community deserve to grow. If you really want our community to rise, and the black arts in New Brunswick. So let's say take two blank papers, one both blank. There are a lot of black artists who are doing good. Okay, they are doing good. They are doing good. It's really good. There are a lot of people, a lot of black artists who are not doing nothing, who are just working so hard, but their stuff are not going nowhere. But you can count more than 3, 4 black people who are actually make it up to the top, even though they produce the best. And to me, this is because we have less support, and we don't have the support that is given to others compared to us. So, and it's hard for us to able to tap into those stages if we don't create our own stage. So that's why I decided to say, with all of the long time barriers I have been facing, and I know a lot of black artists are facing those, because I've been talking to artists who have been here for so long and who have left the province, who have gone to other provinces, and how they become successful in those provinces. And I asked them, why did you move? And why didn't you stay? And so I have to go out to look for opportunities. And so that way, if I become a superstar, I'll come back to Fredericton. I'll come back to New Brunswick. So do you need to go out to be a superstar to come back? But the opportunities are here. So why don't we have the same opportunities that like others are getting? And so to me, the barrier is for us not moving further or upper so fast compared to any other is lack of resources. lack of investment in us. I don't want to be doing events. Give me money to build my capacity, my community capacity. You know, if you say, okay, I'm going to give you this, go do this event, you do the event, is done. And what next? Go do this event, the event is done. What next? So we need to able to have a sustainable amount of resources pouring into the arts community, not just the art community, the Black art community, but into every other branches in the African community. If you want to see them rise and shine and flourish and call this place home, that's what I say. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I agree that yeah, there's not a lot of resources, and not to say, and I will say this, New Brunswick is a poor province. It is a poor province, so there's not a whole lot of resources for anybody. Not because sometimes it's a little bit of lack of mismanagement, and sometimes it's just that it's. I feel like there's an old school way of thinking. There's resources, but people don't want to share those resources or put it in places that they needed. So I definitely feel that in that part. Uh, I also feel that in certain places, the arts when it comes to people of color are not shown. Like for example, I have never seen any black spectacle in the Capitol Theater here in Moncton. Never
Mhm.
seen one, and it's one, and I'm like, is it because of lack of production? Is it because of lack of interest? Is it because of lack of people? I really don't know. But I can't see why that cannot happen. I'm pretty sure, and I see talented people that
Mhm.
could pull it off. I just don't see
Mhm.
people
I think this
trying to
is one
have
thing I
it.
like about America, I like about the USA. They invest a lot in no matter what is going on, but there's so much investment in building cultural thing. Look, they have BET, they have different other things that support black owned thing, and even though it's not all the artists getting the opportunity, but progressively they do, right? And here we don't have, it's so hard in a way. The only way I see us winning is we having creating our own platform, so we can go and mingle and do with any other who wants to have black arts. Okay, Nova Scotia is doing good. They're working because I have a lot of friends in Nova Scotia who are doing very well. You know, there's so much opportunities in Nova Scotia compared to New Brunswick for black arts. You know, and I feel even though we said there's not too much, New Brunswick is old the way they think. People want to keep that same old fashioned tradition that they know way back in the day, you know, and instead of adapting to what is happening today, you know, and we got to know that the only thing that is constant in life is change. You know, there's going to be different form of art, different form of creativity, different form of wealth, different form of whatever you name them, going to be pouring into the community. So we need people who can go and talk to the big players and say, now I think we need to start to invest. Like I say, I tell people straight up the way it is. It doesn't matter who you are. If this is what I see you are, and this is what you're holding back to making so and so and so not done, not right, I tell you, and I tell you how you can fix it. It's up to you to take it how you can fix it.
And I agree. I mean, sometimes I see a lot of black arts. Like again, one of my favorite rappers, Canadian rappers. That's not Drake, of
Mhm.
course. It's not Drake. It's a guy called Jazz Cartier. He's a really good rapper from Toronto. I appreciate, and he went to Halifax, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, like, like he just went straight to the like. If you see more Toronto rappers or Afrobeat artists,
Mhm.
uh, or reggae artists that
Mhm.
they go straight, even again mid-sized to mid-sized artists, even small time, they go straight to Halifax, and
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not sure that they have a crowd of 2,000 people, 3,000 people. We're not talking like they have huge crowds,
Yeah.
and I'm like, they could definitely get 1,000 people in New Brunswick. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not the same thing, but
Mhm.
I feel like there's not an eager and there's not a capital backing
Mhm.
that up because it takes capital. Let's not get it twisted. This takes
Well,
money
that's
and
why I
resources.
said capital building. It's not don't give us money. Say go do this event. We're beyond events. We're beyond that. We're human beings. We need to grow. Give us money to invest in building our community. That is what we want.
Yeah,
Don't give me money, say go do Black History Month event. Give me money, go run that thing over there. No. Give me money, build your community. What these children want, pour the money there. What this guy want to make him become a good musician, pour the money there. What this guy want to make him a good painter, a good visual artist, pour the money there. What is blocking this guy from not becoming a doctor, pour the money there. This is what we need. This is what we need.
Yeah, don't give me the money to do an event at the theater. Give me the money to build
No.
the theater. That's what I
Thank you.
want. That's what I
Simple.
want. Give me that money so I can build that theater and make sure that we
Yeah.
can run the theater.
We
And
can run it.
I think that's the thing. Like they a lot of the things, especially the government and people, they don't want us to run shit. They are scared of a couple of black people running something. And I say that because there, if you look at places in associations of art associations or people that actually, you say, that have this research, there's nobody black or brown in any position of power. And it's like, wait, are you telling us that we're not qualified, or is it that you can't find us? What the hell is going on? So
there's always a but when it comes to the black person. There's always a but. Oh, you're very, very good, but you're, oh, this is very good, but you know, there's always a but when it comes to us. But guess what? One thing I would say, this should not make us be afraid. Say it the way it is. Tell the people how to create the change. Fight for it. Voice it out. Voice it out. That is why we are creating more and more and more and more discussions. And that's why your platform is good, because create those discussion, call out names. I'm not afraid to call names. I call the names and I tell you how you can make it better. What you need to do. How can we make it better? What do we need to do? Who do we need to pull in? How can we bring people in? It's not always about me. It's about we.
yeah, that is exactly right. I think it's always about we. And again, I feel like, and this is a personal thing with myself, I feel like sometimes I just want to watch TV or a program and see a black Canadian doing, like, saying stuff, because it's just like there ain't none. It's like there's just none. And I'm like, why is there none? Like, why can I just see the black Canadian like, well, Cosby Show is not the best one right now, but the black Canadian Blackish, or like, if you look at, like, for example, if you look at places like the CBC, they have an app called Gem, and there's like one black show or two, and it's like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that as were able to make a successful show about Koreans, and you cannot make one about black people? Like, are you serious? Go ahead, Clinton.
Just for the listeners, today I learned about a Newfoundland-based black show on CBC called Stuffed. So there's one, at least. It's featuring three very energetic foodies who source local ingredients from Newfoundland and put together these amazing dishes. So I'm going to watch that on the Gem channel soon, and I advise everyone else to check it out too.
And say the name again. Say the name again.
Stuffed, like full belly.
Oh yeah, make my belly full.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that. I'm gonna check that out now.
I will add very briefly, and not to just like promote shows on the CBC, but they do have one now featuring an Indian trans person, and so it's still not black. But we're trying. They're going somewhere with that. But you know, they just need to have us on the CBC Gem.
We don't need to be going somewhere. We need to be going there.
Yes.
We need to be going there.
But again, I'm not necessarily, and this is the thing, I'm not necessarily saying CBC. Even CBC has supported us. Shout out to them. But I'm calling, like, for example, CTV, City TV, like. And one of the things that I read, like, why don't we have our own BET? Like, why don't we have our own?
But that is what I just told you a few minutes ago. I said United States of America, even though they're doing crappy stuff, but they do. Our black people there, our brothers over there, they do have a station wherein they promote black culture, right? And here we always have to go where they can control it. Okay, we're gonna put you on now. Okay, no. Okay, you know what I mean? So how do you want us to grow, right? So I think in order for us to grow, it takes all of us to come together. It takes all of, I know it look like a big challenge, right? But yes, we can do it, and it takes all voices to come together to able to push and make things happen. And that's why I like the New Brunswick African Association, and where it come from and where we are today, and what Battle of the Arts NB have done. I've been to St. John. I don't go to St. John too much, but I did a pre-Afro Fest in St. John. The place was packed, super packed. And it's a place I like to be visiting much as I can after when the COVID go away, and hopefully soon. But it takes all of us to come together, or many of us to come together, and it's good. It would be nice for us to have many more black-led organizations, and led by people of colors. When I watch the TV, I see some black girls are starting nail stuff and doing something. As long as you're doing something, it makes me happy. That you do something that will make you your own CEO. So, and those are the things. What I want to see, a lot of black CEOs right now, all over New Brunswick and the East Coast in general.
That is a fact. I also want to see that as well. So, tell us about Battle of the Arts. Like, how did that start, and what does it exactly do?
Well, Battle of the Art NB, which shortly I call it Ambota NB, it's a black-led organization, and basically our goal is to amplify, to elevate, to ignite, and to create opportunities and break barriers, and using the arts, visual arts, painting, singing. And I started this way back in 2010 when I was just about to graduate from school. And we've done a lot of programs around New Brunswick and Atlantic Canada in general. We've done workshops and sessions across in Ontario. I've been to Yellowknife to do a lot of sessions through BOTA and help to ignite, to empower, and work with a lot of different other people, because the goal is basically to amplify, to give the stage to young people who finding it difficult to able to share their talent. So that is where Buta come in, and this we have been doing for many, 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 many years now. And not just music, not just dance, not just painting, but all form of arts. And basically is to ignite, is to empower. And now, right now, because of the COVID and all of that stuff going on, so we take everything online. So that way we keep still doing something. And Ball of Dare started with nothing, started with almost $150, and now where it is now today. So as I said, and we don't wait for nobody, we do for we.
Yeah, that is very empowering. So, out of all the events that you guys have done so far, what do you think is one of the events that you're most proud of?
Oh, I had a group called some of my youth who were here. They recently moved to Edmonton. Um, they call themselves the Gift. When they form a group called the Gift, these are black girls who just come together and just pour in harmonies and everything for change. And when I sit back and just listen them, what they do and how they take everything to a whole new other level, it touches my heart to see somebody who come from nothing and they becoming something because they know that they're worth it. And that is what we want to keep doing. The programs that you see we do right now is to basically tell you, the black artists, you, the youth, to say that, hey, your voice matters. Hey, your art matters. Hey, we can take your art, take it to a whole new other level so you can put something in your pockets. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that every art, everything performed on Battle of the Art channel, make that artist feel that you're worth it. It doesn't matter whether somebody's seeing you. I know that on our own platform, somebody's seeing you. You're worth it, and you worth getting paid for this stuff you're doing. You want you deserve to be elevated, and that is what Bota is doing. And all the time we're looking for more channels, more doors, more windows to open to keep amplifying. And so that is it.
Yeah, well, you definitely found one of us. We're definitely always open to promote Battle of the Arts. I think it's a great initiative, especially for the youth. That
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of youth that want to be, and they can't find it sometimes. And there's the internet. I can definitely say that people that there's the internet and you could put your stuff in the internet and like everybody does, but sometimes you need a community
Mhm.
to kind of share and be creative, and
Mhm.
that's how a movement grows, right? With a
Mhm.
community, not just one person
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
their bedroom. So what's the future for Battle of the Arts? Where do you see it, and where would you like that to go?
So, like what we just spoke about earlier on, the one thing I like to see, both IMB is fighting hard to create that platform here in New Brunswick to make sure every black child, every black artist have that full capacity to be who you want to be. So if I have to go knock on doors, if a team have to go do anything to make you your art, whatever thing you are doing, you excel on it. That is what I'm looking for. The more people we amplify to become the breadwinners for their own self or for their own families or whatsoever through their creative thing they're doing, that is a win to us. That's gonna be another somebody else you're taking away from the street and make them be somebody they want to become. So that is what I want to do. That's one of the goals. I want to see Battle of the Arts NB become its own entity, become its own franchise here, and able to produce big shows like the BET, like you name them, everything. I want able to make sure we have a big black stage here in NB and bring people. Well, it's technically it's already happened. When I organize Afrofest, the musicians come from all around Canada, all around Canada. People come from all around Canada to Afrofest. So it's already happening. All this is all pushed with what Bota has been doing, so I want able to make sure we have a constant thing going on, wherein our people, our creative stars and our young pioneers who are coming up, able to say, okay, we have a place where we can go start to excel. And I don't want everybody to be in Bota forever. Come and get your own, steal your own spotlight and fly with it.
Ellery, go ahead.
No, I was just holding my hand that way. Sorry.
All right.
I will take this minute though to say that I guess like being the one out of all of us that is from New Brunswick, born and raised. It's amazing to hear that these initiatives exist now. And I just wish that more things like this would have existed in Moncton when I was a kid and I was like the only Black kid learning flute in the second grade, and that there would have been like Black musicians to look up to, and even like Black music around me, or artists, or things like that. And like Fidel was saying, it's a shame that it's something that you have to try to dig to find. And being only 27, it still felt for me for a very long time like that community didn't really exist except within itself. So I think everything that you're doing is really great, and I'm really happy that the youth that are there in New Brunswick now and all the people who live there are able to benefit from the work that you're doing. And if I lived back there, I would be benefiting as well.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, but there's a lot of way. We want the people to benefit, but also the community to benefit from it. Because when I came here, it's just like what you just said. There was nothing. There was nothing much, And I'm happy where we have come from to where we are now. It means that no matter what happened, we are making progress. We just keep need to be pushing and ask for what we want. We're not begging. We're asking. This is what we want, and give it to us because we also want to grow. As I said, don't give me money for events. Give me money to build me, to build my community. That's what we want, you know.
So if people want to find Battle of the Arts, or they want to find your material or what people are doing with it, where do they go to?
Battleofthearts.ca, and also we're on Facebook too, and we're on YouTube, we're on social media, I want to say this out, like what we do is not to gain popularity, it's to do the grassroots work. That's what I want. I don't want somebody to even share my picture to say I want to make Star famous. No, that's not what I want. I want you to share the work we do, share it to somebody else that will help to make this work bigger and make a lot of people benefit from it. That is what we want. I don't make me popular. Make the work we do blossom it, make it blossom so more people can benefit from it. That is what we want. Grassroots
That's,
stuff.
I mean, I definitely have a lot of respect for you, Sar, because I think we're fighting the same battle, which is great. I always say that uh, I personally, I don't care who makes it or not. I just want to see Black people thrive. I don't. It doesn't necessarily have to be
Yeah.
somebody. It's just making us, because if one of us makes it, we all make it. There's a hope,
No,
right?
make it. That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
one youth you have just taken away from the street that they're just gonna go kill down there, you know. So bring them, give them the opportunity to shine. To man, if we give all this group I have called MAP, Making Africa Proud. It's a dance and drama group. The youth who have grown from this group, they're not just dancing. A lot of them are making big music right now. Guess what? If we have the big stage to able to make this go up and up, if we have the resources to able to make this, to able to invest in them, what is going to happen? Most of these youth can able to take care of mom and dad at home, you know, out of just their creativity. But this is what is being held back. We're not able to excel because we don't have the thing to build this capacity. You know what I mean? To able to do things all the time. We have to go ask. So, oh, give me this so I can go do one event. I can go to another event. I don't want to do events. I want to be able to invest in my people creatively so everybody can go become who they want to become.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, even for myself, I was always into business and ventures and economics and things like that, and I never saw anybody of my color until I always saw rappers until I saw Russell Simmons, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy doesn't rap and doesn't do anything, and he's like a millionaire. He dresses with a hat and he looks like me. That's like it was the first guy that I ever saw that was like a business mogul, like somebody that ever did that. And again, when somebody does that, I think that ignites passion in other guys. So I want to thank you, Seth, for being on the podcast. I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people, including me. I think you do wonderful work, and I hope you keep doing what you're doing, and we are open for anything that you're doing.
Yeah, I think we all have a role to play, and you guys are doing exactly what you're able to do, and keep doing what you do, and let's all play our own parts. Let's all support one another. When you see another black man in the street, say hi. You know, even though they don't say hi back, say hi. You know, because those are ways, and we can keep fighting and bringing unity among us. And it's a long battle. It's a long journey, and racism lives here. So we can only beat that when we all come together and we make one cause. It's a challenge though, but let's keep going, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's keep going. So, you guys have anything else to say?
Just this was a very uplifting and empowering and inspiring conversation with you, Sal. Thank you so much for being on the show. I don't know if politics are in your future, maybe.
No, I'm not a
Motivational
politician.
speaking, no, not at all. Okay.
Motivational speaking, yes, but
Maybe
to
you can
do no office thing to go. I'm not running for mayorship or any of that kind of thing because I want to talk against them. I don't want to be for them. I don't, you know. So I want to call out what they're not doing right and make sure it is
Amazing.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So just remember to
Hillary-
subscribe. Go ahead, Hillary. Sorry about that.
I was just going to thank you for coming on the show, but I had already said what I had to say before. It's all good.
Thank you very much. And you guys keep doing what you do, and let's support one another. Support any black thing you see out there. It is very, very necessary.
No, thank you for that. So, guys, please subscribe on Spotify, Apple Music, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Leave us a comment. If you can, please donate on Patreon or PayPal. Just follow us on Black in the Maritimes or on social media, anywhere, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Black in the Maritimes. Peace out.
Salud. Thank you.